Welcome to it. It is Real Red Reaction here, powered by Slim Chickens on KFOR, KFORnow.com. Chris Schmidt, Elijah Herbal, and Nebraska able to start off the season 1-0. Elijah, you'll take it. Nebraska hangs on 20-17. A lot to detail, a lot to get into. Just enough. Some complimentary football and a play made by Malcolm Hartzog, the interception to seal it for Nebraska. A good win, and a win where Nebraska's offense at times really took control. A time where the defense stepped up and made plays, specifically the last pass that Sorsby threw. And how about special teams? Only 4 punts inside the 10 for Archie and 2 for 2 on field goals. So Nebraska off to a 1-0 start. We're walking out, we're hustling. It's a madhouse down here at Arrowhead, as you can imagine. And what you heard as you came down and outside of Arrowhead, as we navigated our way outside the Joe Mama RV for Real Red Reaction, was loud and proud chants of Go Big Red. You heard hope, and I think you put it best. You have a fan base that I think tried to break the sound barrier record and came up big and caused 3 false start penalties, helped out with false start penalties anyway. Nebraska got it done, points off turnovers. Emmett Johnson, I think I'll take the over on 30 touches a game.
Yeah, wow.
Can he take the over on 30 touches a game? He's their workhorse on offense, and Nebraska's new wideouts showed up.
Yeah, the Nebraska wideouts were my biggest highlight from this game. They looked night and day different from what you saw last year. We'll get to the negatives, I'm sure, in just a second, and there are plenty to go around. But at the end of the day, Nebraska put together a performance in a big-time game to get a win, to get the season started right, to give the fan base some hope. I mean, Malcolm Hartzog, how about it? He quietly, he's like one of those boomer bust guys, where at times he is frustrating, but he also very quietly had the team lead in Nebraska interceptions.
Can you
last
illustrate
year.
how frustrating it was? What happened? What happened after the second time he got targeted on that final drive? You're sitting next to me, and what happened?
What do you mean, after the second time?
Yes.
Well, he goes and makes a big-time play, wins the football game for you.
What I'm saying is, what did I do sitting next to you?
Oh, I mean, you put your head in your hands. That might be a little dramatic.
I'm not cheering, but I'm saying, all right, they got him on an out route for a first down. They got Hartzog on the holding, which was kind of a weak call. And then what happens? He doesn't hang his head. He bounces back to your point.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a reason the guy's out there. He is always in the right place at the right time, it feels like. He shows you why on the final play, the final important play of the game today before the one kneel down. It's progress. It's worrisome, some of the things we saw in that game, how tight it got late, but we talked about it all offseason long. Nebraska needed a game like that where with the game on the line, they make a winning play. How many times? I mean, there's people headed for the exits. Whenever Nebraska punts it deep and you got 2 minutes and change left for Cincinnati's offense, people are headed for the exits. They thought they knew what was coming. Malcolm Hartzog, stand up, go make a play in a big-time moment, big-time play. I'm not sure I'm ready to say big-time player just yet, but that is the play of Nebraska's season thus far, to go and seal that victory for you. There's so much going through my head right now because of the range of emotions we felt late in that one, but a win's a win. You're now likely looking at 3-0 with the Michigan team had come into town. I don't want to look past the next 2 weeks, but you just hope that play is something late in the game that can spark you moving forward. So this team does have confidence in those late game moments as opposed to the oh crap that everyone in the stands is feeling.
Well, and that's it. I thought this would come down to a 3-point ball game. I was off on the score, but I said Nebraska 31-28. We'll go through our yays and nays of this ball game right now. And to be honest with you, I want to start off with Nebraska's lines of scrimmage. We have talked about them this offseason, and we know that Nebraska's got some work to do. I really like how Nebraska's defense settled in after they went down 3-0. And what I really like is 3 guys on that line in combination. When they were on the field, things changed. Van Poppel for sure in the middle. The running wasn't as easy for Cincinnati, although they did go for 200 yards tonight. Winery was very impactful. And you know what? You got to look at a guy like Keona Davis. He was back on the field after he got dinged up briefly. But Keona Davis is a monster and a problem, and was just very, very impactful tonight. So those three guys, if that's your three, they're going to need to log a lot of snaps. I thought McCullough was tremendous. But what the coaches said to us just a few weeks ago, they want to see that second and third team depth chart jump up. It was noticeable when you didn't have a guy like Van Poppel in the middle. It was noticeable when they tried to run the football with anyone else other than Emmett Johnson. Those are the two areas right now that Nebraska will no doubt go to work on. They'll try and keep getting better. But you know what? Nebraska got it handled. Emmett Johnson gets the game ball for me, and Nebraska's defense found a way to make a play late.
And it's something we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, really since fall camp started, that this defensive line and the running back room too. We knew both of these groups were going to be a work in progress. The fact that you have 2 more weeks now to touch things up, to improve before Michigan comes to town, gives you a little bit of hope. But yeah, the defensive line needs to get better quick. It's as simple as that. And you could tell, just watch how many Cincinnati offensive linemen were able to get up to second level, able to get their hands on Nebraska's linebackers. That's the difference between what the last 2 years was to what tonight was the fact that the defensive line was not able to hold double teams at the line of scrimmage. You had double teams chipping off, getting up to backers. It's what allowed a guy like John Bullock last year to be so good, or Mekhi Bear. The linebackers that you had going around making plays last year, they were able to make plays because Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmacher kept that interior offensive line off of them. Nebraska's defensive line wasn't able to accomplish that tonight. I think you saw some flashes from a couple guys you mentioned, Winery, Keona Davis. You also had McCullough coming around the edge. I think those guys look like they have some potential as pass rushers. When Nebraska needed a pass rush late in that game, they didn't get it. That's why you got to tip your cap to Malcolm Hartzog. But we knew coming in. We talked about it for weeks. The defensive line is going to be a work in progress. You needed your secondary to really make some big plays for you. Holding Brendan Sorsby to less than 75 yards passing is a standout performance from that Husker defensive back room. I think they only threw the ball towards Sierra Wright once. And Andrew Marshall looked good in that back end as well.
And Marshall did a hell of a job on a couple instances on some stick routes where it was do or die. He was it. He made some nice tackles. Nebraska's secondary is good as advertised when it comes to the one-on-one tackling. Nebraska emphasized that, how important tackling was, how important taking care of the football was. That's obvious, but that's the difference right now. It's points off turnovers for Nebraska. They got 7 off that fumble towards the end of the first half. Vincent Shaver's doing his thing. Nebraska capitalizing. Nebraska buttoned up on special teams with their punt game. And of course, the field goal makes. We'll get into Dylan Raiola's performance tonight, but really, Nebraska, they'll use this. They'll teach on this, and the C word, right? Confidence. This will no doubt embolden this team to be a very confident football team moving forward, opposed to so many times how the movie ended with a lot of these same guys in the locker room in past seasons.
I think I've said it 3 times now. In our first game reaction shows, dating back the last couple years, it is unwise to draw conclusions from the first game, draw observations from the first game. And my observations are the defensive line needs to get a lot better quick. With Michigan coming to town here in just a couple weeks, that is a team with a freshman quarterback that is going to want to run the football at you. So you got to be ready for that. You got to be ready for that team. You got 2 weeks now for your defensive line to step up and find 6 guys that can go be stout against the run. So you have some time to do it, but you got to get better quick there. Another observation, those running backs behind Emmett Johnson, they also need to get better quick. That being said, it was Mekhi Nelson's first carries tonight. It was Isaiah Mosey's first carries tonight. For a lot of guys in this defensive line, it's their first time playing at this level as many snaps as they did. There's only up from here throughout the course of the season, but you got a couple weeks. I don't think giving Emmett Johnson 30 touches a game is a winning formula for 12 games. You can make it work for one night, but you're going to need either a Mekhi Nelson or an Isaiah Mosey to step up and be able to take some of that lion's share of the carry away from Emmett Johnson if you want him to be able to last a full 12 games.
It's a winning formula. All right, Mr. Mark Kranak is here. Wow. Find a chair. Well, just a quick thought as Mark Kranak finds his way in. Just sit down on the crock pot, Kranak.
Might as well. Might as well.
How? Let's move this back here. We're digital only, so
I'll just leave him like this.
you'll just Matthew McConaughey me, just kind of lean on back.
Yeah.
What'd you think, dude? Did you think it was going to go sideways or no?
It got a little dicey towards the end, but hey, listen, this is the kind of game Nebraska used to lose, though, right? And not so long ago. I'm talking like 2 years ago, last year. It's the exact situation that Nebraska used to falter. And who made the play? And we talked about.
I side-eyed Elijah, said this is not going well. Back-to-back targets on Malcolm Hartzog, and your guy makes a play.
And the thing with Hartzog that,
That's good.
and y'all, every Saturday morning we talked about that. I've been on the Hartzog camp forever, and he has absolutely gotten burned on several plays. My whole thing with him though is he was good enough to where he was the best option at multiple spots, so they just moved him there. Whether he was a fit for there or not, it didn't matter. They're just like, we can't put anybody else here except Hartzog, right? And so he has been put in positions where it's probably not a great fit for him, and he probably doesn't look great, but he was literally the best option at any of those spots, whether it was a slot corner, whether it was a boundary corner, whether it was a safety. He's a natural safety. That's what he is. He's not a corner. Malcolm Hartzog is not a corner anywhere, but he has been here because there's no other option. So they put him at safety, right? And the dude's been around for a while. He can read some plays, and he's athletic enough to make the plays.
And he can bait.
So good for him to be able to make that play and seal the win for Nebraska.
And if Malcolm Hartzog, the guy that led the team to interceptions last year, is the quote-unquote weak link of your secondary, you're doing much better than a lot of Americans.
Yeah.
It's a simple. I mean, I thought Andrew Marshall tonight was very,
Love
very
that.
good. I thought
Straight up.
Sierra Wright was great. I thought Donovan Jones was fantastic, stepping up and being willing to hit stick some guys. He was sticky on coverage in that final possession. I loved what I saw from Donovan Jones tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Buford was solid as usual. Didn't make any outstanding plays, but was super, super solid. Sean Singleton was willing to come up and lay the stick on a running back, which is going to need that in your secondary. If Malcolm Hartzog is your quote-unquote weak link, you as a football team can live with that because the dude steps up and he finds himself in the right place at the right times way too many times for it to be a coincidence. That's a skill.
Exactly, man. And like, think about it. Like, it's easy for us to sit here and criticize somebody like that in the secondary in modern college football, right? It's very easy for us to do that. But what happened at USC last year? He got burned. Who did he get burned by? A 6'5", 220-pounder, and the dude's like 5'9" and a $190, right? Like, of course he's not going to win that battle, and we're mad at him for it. Like, we can't be, right? It's just like, he should not be in that position, but he was the best option they had to cover a 6'5", 230-pound receiver. Should he be doing that? Hell no. And he'd be the first to tell you. But he was pretty close, right? Like, so it's so good for him in particular because ever since he's walked onto this campus, ever since he's gotten to Lincoln, coaches have been high on him from the second he walked into the city. They're just like, this dude can play. And they found a way to make him play. Got put in some spots maybe he shouldn't have been. Stuck with it. He's taking a lot of crap, right? Taking a lot of crap. He won the freaking game for Nebraska tonight, right? Good on him. So good to see.
Offense had answers most of the game, then they didn't, and then the defense won it. Kranak, you're kneeling. I love you. You got a sandburr in that right calf.
In the right knee, it hurts a little bit, but I'm going to be all right. I'm going to tough it out.
Go get a beer. Come on
Godspeed,
back.
I will. I will. Love y'all.
Love you too. We'll see you soon. All right. That was Mark Kranak. Let's get some shout outs going on the stream. Your yays, your nays. What'd you like? What drove you mad? And how are you celebrating a 1-0 start against a Power 4 team for Nebraska football. Their first opener against a Power 4 opponent they have won since, wait for it, Nebraska against Oklahoma State, 2003, the Bo Pelini era as defensive coordinator, Barrett Ruud, the pick 6 against Les Miles and Okie State. Good hit from Kranak there. We may have the Pride of Fairbury, Bill Dolman in. We'll get to our yays and nays. But Nebraska football off to 1-0. And Elijah, let's talk a little. Hey, how we doing? Good to see you.
You called it. You called it. You said 3 points.
I said 3.
Schmitty did say 3 points. Schmitty said it right before the game. Good job. Take your
did.
flowers.
I'll take my beer. It's all right. Snitley boys are working security for us. I love it. So our shout outs, God love you all for coming on and hanging out with us here on the stream. Let's get our shout outs. Yes. All right, first in the stream was Bar None Farms, the Nebraska Golden. We got out Nebraska tonight. Tough one for Sorsby. Nebraska made the play. You got it right. CK Cash 26, 1-score win. 1-score win, 1-0. Bruce and Spearfish said it like a lot of Nebraska fans uttered it. They pulled out the victory. Mr. Hinkle is in along with Anonymous. We looked like an 8-4 team much of the game. 8 losses, 4 wins. I did say, Elijah, I may want to recalibrate my 9-win projection. That is totally knee-jerk reaction by me. Let's get into Dylan Raiola.
That's exactly where I wanted to go, Schmitty. As we were sitting up there in the press box, I was talking with another media member who, I'm not sure if his post-game column is out just yet or not, but he was sitting there and we were discussing Dylan Raiola's performance.
Did he ask you if you wanted to go to Applebee's?
No, the letter grade I had in mind for Raiola tonight was a B-.
I'm going to go B+.
Raiola made some NFL quality throws. There was one long throw on that second to last possession where Nebraska was trying to go ice it, where he went across the field. That was 35 yards, frozen rope. That was fantastic. Another one, rolling right out, goes down to Barney on the sideline, on a dot. Barney drops it, but a fantastic throw. There were
Snipper's a happy man.
fantastic quality throws from Dylan Raiola tonight.
It was uglier than
That being said,
what?
Dylan Raiola under pressure.
We're 1-0. We'll
is
move
progress.
on.
Hugs?
I-
It's the mustache crew. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Let's see that glorious stash. There's hugs everywhere. We're going to go back over this way to see the mustache. We don't spill.
Mustache, brother. Thank you. Did you hear about that?
We got the mustache cameo there. Live stream it is. So we're good to go. All right, so you have Nebraska. Husker Red says finally some kickers. Well done. Kobe says Elijah is still crushing NAs. I don't believe he is. Tiger Shark Diver says it well. A win is a win. Caleb, there is no number to call because it's a stream-only show past the midnight hour, my friend. But you can absolutely chime in like you did on the stream. Thanks for checking in. Eric checks in here on the stream, says that was a tough Cincinnati team, hard-nosed and more than talented. You know what Nebraska did? Nebraska did a nice job, Elijah, of not letting one man wreck the entire game. Now, the linebacking core of Cincinnati was really good. Nebraska had some problems with how they were attacking them from time to time. Nebraska did get in rhythm for stretches of the football game, but it never got on a roll. It looked like things might turn as Nebraska's up 13-3. We'll get back to Dylan in 2 seconds, but Nebraska's up 13-3.
Going fourth down.
And they go for it on fourth down. What happens? That kills momentum. Cincinnati stays on the field, puts a touchdown on the board, and it's suddenly 13-10. Good cop, bad cop on that. The good cop part of it is you needed to go through a game like this and finish. They did. The bad news is maybe you kick it away and you pin them deep, and they don't seize momentum back.
It's a lesson learned, I think. If you're the play caller Dana Holgerson, if you're Matt Rule, Archie Wilson was as advertised.
Big time.
punted with the right, punted with the left, pinned him inside the 10 a couple of times. He was as advertised. I think if you can go back, and obviously hindsight's 2020, you're going back and you're looking at that play call and saying, you know what, I think we give Archie the chance to pin him inside the 10, because whenever Archie had the chance to pin him inside the 10, he did not miss.
Totally.
That dude was as advertised. Looked like he just placed it. I mean, the two great opportunities where Nebraska's near midfield, he placed that thing on the 8-yard line right on the sideline. It was a picture-perfect punt each time. I think going back, you go back to that fourth down play call. Well, first off, you don't run the ball on third down. But then when fourth down rolls around, you're pinning him inside the 10-yard line saying, we got a 13-3 lead, go drive the length of the field on us. Like, that's Big Ten football right there. And they didn't play Big Ten football for one moment, and it almost bit them. But at the end of the day, it'd be a good thing that Nebraska was able to go out there and get that opportunity to go win a close one late.
It was. We have folks taking pictures of us. If they start throwing
Oh no,
things at
they're
us.
watching this. We need to get the speaker
Oh,
out
okay.
here.
Let me ask. Snitleys. Fellas.
Hey Jeff, Brian, you still the speaker?
You guys got the speaker or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Put it in
How
the
we doing?
building.
Good.
Good.
Are we on? We're on live on the street.
We are.
We're in a break.
It's the Iron Horse.
You're in double duty?
Yes. Hey, you guys are telling secrets.
Just put it this way. No.
Who's ready for the old fashioned?
The old fashioned, what's the over under? How many Snitley had?
That's what I was wondering too.
Over under what?
On how many old fashioned Snitleys had? We said it at 2.5. Is he at 4?
Oh, I think he's at one.
Is it 1? Okay. Yeah. We'll put the speaker right this way. Let's not start a war.
He hits it hard on the back.
I like it. Back.
Yeah, we're trying to run a tailgate and run a postgame
A
show
little
at the
bit.
same time.
Two things at once, right? As they say. We'll get back to football. The lesson learned we touched on is important for Nebraska to get that fourth quarter win. Also, the other play that I thought was key, the fourth down they converted. How nice of a setup was that pop pass? It wasn't rolled out all game, and Dana Holgerson picked the perfect time to make the perfect play call and fake that inside run again, and bang, you hit Dane Key.
It was the motion that sold it. They had Heiner Carper go in motion across the formation, come right back across, and you saw the outside linebacker was caught with his eyes in the backfield. He saw that same motion, he saw the same backfield action, caught with his eyes in the backfield. Is that Dana making up for the previous fourth down play call?
I don't think it's a makeup. I just think it was perfectly well placed.
Well, I'm saying, but from a fan's perspective, is that the makeup call that lets you forgive him for the previous one?
You know, I think there was execution that needed to be had on that, obviously, on that previous
And
fourth
the
down.
previous fourth down was one of the moments where I mentioned the happy feet of Raiola under pressure.
Back to Dylan.
You
Yes.
saw it in that moment on fourth down where he looks right first, doesn't have the first read, and immediately he knew the pressure was coming. He starts backpedaling, tries to throw off the back foot. He's got happy feet. That's the biggest critique I have of Dylan tonight, is any time he knew there was pressure coming, whether or not it was in his face or not, he was backpedaling, throwing off the back foot, and a lot of quarterbacks are going to deal with that. But that was what stood out to me as something that did not approve from last year. Whenever he was under pressure, he reverted back to the same bad habits, which is backpedaling, throwing off the back foot, trying to make a play. It's again, as I said, it's common among young quarterbacks, but I thought I saw progress in other aspects of his game. He did a great job. I'm not sure if it came across in the TV broadcast. Cincinnati was rolling coverages pre-snap a lot, where they're showing a 2-high look and they're rolling into 3. They got a 3-high look and they're rolling a safety down and then dropping 4 back. They were changing up post-game. They were changing up post-snap what they were showing pre-snap, and Dylan Raiola did a great job rolling with those punches. But if there's a critique to make, it's happy feet under pressure.
He looked comfortable a lot of the night. Dylan, to your point, when the blitz came or the pressure got to him, was a little bit erratic there. A couple of the throws he made, I mean, some 8-yard outs that are 40 yards in distance on the money. And it was nice. Nebraska's investment right now with Hunter and Key are going to help carry this team to whatever they become, because those guys are absolute difference makers. Key got the offense settled in with some third down conversions. Then you go to Hunter. One of my nays, and I know they scored a touchdown on it, I'm not a big fade route end zone guy. It's pretty, it's fun, it's wonderful if you have Randy Moss or Isaiah Hunter tonight. But push comes to shove, I'd rather try and win another way because it's such a low percentage play, and Nebraska kind of got off rhythm trying it once before where they had to settle for 3.
The goal line fade is the least efficient play in football inside the 5-yard line. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I think I've said that before on this show. But getting back to the receivers as a whole, let's not let Lindenmeyer go into the radar.
Big time, 19-yard piggyback ride.
Yep.
He's such a weapon on the little outside toss.
With the ball in his hands, first off, this is going to go under the radar. He was good as a blocker tonight.
Great.
Kendrick Harburg, I think, needed to take some strides there. He got beat a couple times run blocking wise. Lindenmeyer seemed like a weapon in the running game, seemed like a weapon in the passing attack. He's going to fly under the radar because Isaiah Hunter looks like an NFL dude eventually, with as young as he is. He's potentially got another year or two of college football after this season. And to me, he looked like the most talented wide receiver on the field. What Dane Key showed me was he had that veteran presence of
Big
being
time.
a guy. He knew exactly when to break off routes. It seemed like he was in just perfect lockstep with Dylan Raiola. Understood when he had soft coverage, when he could just turn around and the ball was going to be there. His veteran presence, his understanding of the game really impressed me. And Isaiah Hunter, the speed, the catch radius, the hands, that impressed me. Lindenmeyer, just a load to take down. Ja'Cory Barney didn't have his best night, but you'll take the other two guys stepping up and helping you out in those moments because I was really, really impressed with what they provided.
I'll say this, Barney got smacked early and kept on ticking. Did a nice job. That was not an easy play, about play 3 or 4 to recover from. When he got submarined, he bounced back. We look at Nebraska here, some red flags to be honest. The rushing total, Cincinnati going for 200 yards. It almost, did Sorsby even throw for 100? Did he even throw for 80 yards tonight?
No. Finished with 79 yards passing.
79 yards.
Let me check that. I just looked that up.
But Brandon Vogel's stat holds true.
Excuse me, 69 yards passing for Brendan Sorsby, 13 of 25.
Okay. So
2.8 yards. average.
2.8 yards per attempt. Not good. More comments from you. What were your yays? What were your nays tonight? Yay is Nebraska got a win. Julie is here. That's nice. Good to have her checking in. Black Hills Brennan has checked in as well. Bruce and Spearfish says what's up. Klossburn has checked in via the text machine and says, Jerry Jones is good. You had Dobler saying the announcers were definitely Big 12 favorites. Shout out to our friends Big Red Junkies. They've given us a thumbs up. Thank you much. Wayne up in Winter. Good to have Wayne checking in. I'm a big Emmett Johnson fan, but it seemed like the running plays took a long time to develop. Seemed awfully slow. We both thought Dylan was good. There's work to be done on eliminating the happy feet, and every quarterback just loses their mind when they got interior pressure. They hate big, heavy, husky is the term we should use, guys flying around at their feet, and they get off target a little bit.
One thing that hurt Nebraska's running game, it was night and day difference whenever Corleone was in there. He was as advertised.
Yep,
that guy was a low
and
inside.
Nebraska did a good job of getting wide and attacking the edge. I mean, Emmett had some really nice works to the outside.
And I'll have a rewatch of this game coming probably either tonight or tomorrow morning. But one of the things that stood out, I thought Corleone was the best player in the trenches on either side of the football, and it was
Agreed.
not close. Just the raw power he had on the inside and that quickness to get off blocks once he did have his offensive lineman 3 yards in the backfield. Very, very impressive. But there was a steep drop off whenever he was off the field. So sometimes you just got to tip your cap to a guy that's that good. He was as advertised. Looks like a future first or second round pick to me based on what I saw. One game sample size, obviously, but that dude was very, very impressive.
What do you think of Nebraska's offensive line?
I give him in pass protection for the most part, very, very solid.
Yeah.
When Dylan Raiola, there was a couple times where they brought one more than the offensive line could handle. I didn't love his decision making in those times, but other than that,
Love you, bro.
when Cincinnati wasn't bringing pressure, Nebraska's offensive line gave Dylan Raiola ages to throw. I thought they were solid there. From a running the ball point of view, it didn't always pop. They stuck with it. They chopped wood. The second quarter, their rushing attack is very, very good. Second half left a little bit to be desired. It's
Cincinnati adjusted too. I mean,
Yeah.
they clogged up with some of the run blitzes they brought, and they did a great job. Cincinnati, their linebackers, attacking the middle and really trying to kind of funnel things outside. But Emmett had 76 yards at halftime, 20 at one point in the second
I think
half.
he finished with just over 30 rushing yards in the second half. I'll check my stats here.
We're gonna pull Emmett's numbers up here, but
77 in the first half. He finished with 108, so 31 rushing yards in the second half for
that,
Emmett.
well, and I wrote down the team that commits to running the football is gonna win this ball game. And Nebraska, I think, committed a little bit more to running the football with Emmett. Early on, it looked like Cincinnati, if they wanted to just keep doing some zone read stuff, they could have kept moving it on down the field. Cincinnati wanted to throw the football. They've got a dual threat quarterback. And really, quite honestly, I mean, Nebraska's defense forced probably about 3 or 4 unofficial 3 and outs to my memory. I mean, Cincinnati's third down conversion numbers were pretty atrocious for tonight. They were, I think, 1 for 7 going into halftime on third down.
And you know what the one conversion was? It was the horrible spot at the end of the half where the next play Vincent Chambers erases it and forces the fumble.
That was the one third down conversion they got, and Nebraska's defense rose up.
I am shocked the group didn't come down and take a look at that, but hey, thank goodness they didn't, because Vincent Chambers comes up and lays the wood on the very next play, forces the fumble, and sets you up for a touchdown for the half.
Huskers were 10 of 18 on third down conversions at 1.6 for 10. Cincinnati finishes 3 for 10. Nebraska 1 for 2 on fourth down attempts. That go-ahead touchdown, that sealer, was big time. And then Cincinnati, of course, 2 for 2 on fourth down. It got down to winning time for Cincinnati to try and stay alive, and they had to convert a couple of them. But 42 passing attempts for Nebraska. You have the rushing attempts. What were we at with that? I'll pull that up here. Total 36. So really pretty good balance for Nebraska with their play calling. But Dana Holgorsen, a difference maker tonight with that fourth down play call. I thought he got the offense in rhythm and settled them down in that second quarter when Nebraska took over.
Are you surprised at all there wasn't at any point a deep shot down the field? On one hand, I think that was something that Cincinnati wanted to take away from Nebraska. I think they were playing soft underneath, making sure there was nothing that could beat them over the top. But was there a single throw through the air of more than 20 yards downfield from Raiola? There was the one down the sideline where Isaiah Hunter went back shoulder, made a great adjustment.
That was it. That was 24 yards.
Yeah, 24 yards. There was nothing.
Otherwise,
more than 25 yards.
the second longest completion was 19, and most of that was yak by Lindenmeyer.
Yeah.
So we'll answer and hit some more questions and responses from you in the stream. We are powered here on Real Red Reaction by Slim Chickens. Go see Hooksy and the crew. 2 locations for you with Slim Chickens, and a third that is going to be rocking and rolling up in North Lincoln.
I'm not sure if that's public information.
I'm kidding. It's make-believe. So,
But that is some chickens.
14th in Pine Lake and 84th at Old Shady.
The perfect place to catch a bite before or after the game.
Yes, you do. Get the grilled salad. Get the wings that are unbelievable. Get the dessert, because damn it, you deserve a dessert after another nail biter. This time Nebraska on the right side of it. More comments here. Brandon, good question. Still trying to figure that out. Who's running back number 2? Nebraska had a little bit of Mekhi Nelson, but not much. A little bit of Mosey, not much. And they
Neither of them
stuck
made
with
a
him.
strong case.
They didn't.
Neither of them made a strong case tonight. One of those guys, at least, is going to have to step up. But as I said previously in the show, I'll say it again. You have 2 guys that were getting their first carries at this level. Mosey is a freshman, Mekhi Nelson as a redshirt sophomore. 2 guys that have just never taken carries at this level. With this amount of pressure on the line, I think they'll both grow into their roles, similar to how I think for a lot of those defensive linemen, it's only up from here. They got to grow into those roles. But I mean, those are the 2 most worrisome things that I have coming out of this game was the performance of the defensive line, not being able to keep the defensive line, or the offensive line, I should say, of Cincinnati off backers, not being able to really do much against the run line aside from 2 drives in the second quarter. And then the running backs, I don't think 30-plus touches from Emmett a game is sustainable across 12 games, especially once you get into the Big Ten. It can work against Cincinnati in the first game of the year whenever you're fresh, but you're going to need to have a guy that steps up and is able to take some of the load off of Emmett. And I think that was one of the reasons why Emmett, as the game went on, didn't necessarily look like himself. 30-plus touches is a lot
He
of
was
touches.
gassed, but he still carried the water, man. I mean, we're talking 25 carries. Emmett had 7 catches, 32 total touches. Great total offensive night for him. Deshaun Singleton patrolled that secondary, 7 total tackles. Winery had 6 tackles and a half tackle for loss. Buford, Marshall, and Javen Wright. Let's talk linebackers and answer Dan's question. You look at, I thought I'm going to count McCullough as that linebacker part. I thought McCullough was incredible tonight. I thought he was all over. I thought he was good off the edge. I thought he was good in space. He really forced the issue. I think Vincent Shavers probably made the second play of the night, first being Hartzog's game saver. But what really flipped the game in Nebraska's control was Vincent Shavers' smackdown over the middle and forcing that fumble that Winery recovered. So 2 fumbles, Nebraska +2 at the end of this one when it comes to the turnover battle. So I think Nebraska's linebackers played pretty well tonight. But again, we're noticing that first line of guys that are really your difference makers right now. How far can the depth come along here as the season progresses?
And again, one of the things to note here is I don't think the defensive line did a good job keeping the linebackers clean and free to go out and make plays. The tackling was, for the most part, from the linebacker core, solid.
Decent.
What wasn't
There's always
spectacular-
3 or 4 guys around the ball.
wasn't spectacular. The gang tackling was solid again. They rushed the football well. I agree with you. I'd like to see what that group can do if they don't have the offensive line in their grill every single play. If that's just a reality for the season, I think they're going to have to step up a little bit. But I'm not discouraged by their play. Was it with the level we've seen from the linebackers in the last 2 years? No. I'm not looking directly at them, though. I think it comes down to the fact
They
that
weren't
the
a sore thumb.
defensive line has to do a better job allowing them to go make plays.
If Van Poppel and Keona Davis are not on the field at the same time, that's a sore thumb. It's a big-time sore thumb right now for this Nebraska football team. Big Red Junkies asking the question, real question, what unit are you most concerned about right now? It's got to be the defensive line.
No question. I think they showed some flash and potential as pass rushers, but as it stands right now, they weren't deep enough from what I saw tonight to go out and make it through a full Big Ten slate against teams that are going to run the hell out of football. Penn State's going to run the hell out of football at you. Michigan, in a couple weeks, is going to run the hell of the football at you.
This was a warning shot.
Minnesota, they held the ball for 9 minutes to close their game tonight en route to a victory, running the football. It's like 9 minutes, 60 yards, and they iced their game that way. So you're going to have teams that are going to want to run the ball directly at you. Defensive line is going to have to be much, much better in that regard. I'm with you. Keona Davis and Riley Van Poppel were the 2 guys that looked solid up the middle. Everyone else struggled against the run of that.
Yeah, that's very fair. Joe says offense, defense, special teams all contributed with the win, balanced each other out. That's 1,000% right, Joe. They all played a part in the 20-17 victory. Trevor checking in. Trevor, hope you're well, bud. Backs maybe had negative yards. They didn't have positive yards. It was rough. Red Ed checking in.
I can actually pull the stats here. Mekhi Nelson, 1 rush for 0 yards. Isaiah Mosey, 1 carry for negative 2 yards. Mosey also had 1 reception for 2 yards, so they were a net 0 backup running backs tonight.
Good to have Dion in. Says special teams played great. They did. They were part of the problem, part of the solution, not the problem. Big time.
That's correct. 3 touches from the backup running backs for a grand total of 0 yards.
Yeah, it was tough. Duck checks in, says EH was okay on runs, but catching passes was kind of mediocre. EJ had 1 drop right there, but came back with a 16-yard run to respond. That was pretty big time. You have Andy checking in saying Gallix, the MVP. The snaps were muddy tonight. If you're a Nebraska fan, LD 402 special teams didn't cost us the game. that's an improvement. QB1 Ace asking the question, any update on Bonner? I know he limped off after the fumble. That was no good. And you know what, Red Wine, you're right on. It was a little bit slow with the pass to EJ. But Nebraska, say it with me, found a way to win a one-score ball game in the defense that has been a question mark. We thought coming in, made the play. I thought the offense was going to just go down there and get points and put her away, but ultimately they got off schedule. I like Dana going to the run, being committed to the run on first down, okay? And that got Nebraska moving. Nebraska seemed to move the ball really pretty well multiple times tonight, Elijah, into Cincinnati territory, but then it would stall. And it was an issue, and they were eventually having to either kick it away or go for it. But Nebraska, the response drive, this is what I liked in the second quarter. Nebraska's down 3-0. They get the football back. They go tie it and get a response.
3 cents. We did not have a fair catch on special teams.
That's right. Yeah.
We didn't have a fair catch.
So Nebraska
made me have a heart attack about 3-4 times.
Nebraska.
Oh Christ! Don't. Yes, at about 15.
So Nebraska in the second quarter, able to go tie things up, get that 3-3 number. Then the defense gets a 3 and out. And then Nebraska gets a response and goes up 10-7. And then they close out the half with that turnover and grow that lead to 13-3. So they get the field goal, they get the 3 and out, they get another field goal, and then they get the touchdown. That's the difference.
For the most part, complimentary football tonight.
I know, but that was a seizing moment that they didn't relinquish really. They took control in the second quarter. Cincinnati made some adjustments in the third quarter. Nebraska ended up getting the score to put it away. But it's a different Nebraska. They don't look dominant, and that's okay. It's game one. They look competent and capable. But I think when we talk about coin flip ball games and the rest of the schedule now, it's a situation where there's going to be a lot of these, and they are going to have to go to the well, partner, to Dane Key. They're going to have to go to the well to Hunter. They're going to have to go to the well to Emmett Johnson, and they're going to have to make sure Dylan Raiola is protected, or if he is flustered or there's a rush coming on him, he has a better job of keeping his feet planted.
I just think, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out here as I talk how concerned I am about the rushing defense, and if that is something that schematically you can go improve upon with a couple weeks to go prepare for a team like Michigan.
It's personnel.
And that's the concern.
It's
I guess
personnel.
When I say schematically, I'm more saying, can you go put a fourth defensive lineman up front whenever you have a team against like Michigan that's going to become?
You're going to have to.
Football.
Hell, go with a 5-man front. I mean, just do what you did against Rutgers, because you're in for a long day and you're never going to get the football. I mean, you have some danger on this schedule. You need your black shirt, your 6-year guy, your former 5-star Elijah Judy to have better reps. And I'm going to say that now. I think I can say that about a guy that's somebody who's been in college football for a long time and really talented. But he's a guy that needs to play better, and when he was in, that's when things got soft in the middle.
Look who we have standing out here in the parking lot. Is that a Bill Dolman sighting?
There he is. It's the pride of Fairbury. There he is.
Makes
Bill
the walk
Dolman.
of glory up here.
All right.
But I will be curious to see, just to wrap
Hold
that
that-
point.
one
Just to wrap that point, I will be curious to see
Hold that cooler up and have a chair.
how John Butler responds schematically from the defensive line performance tonight, because if it's the personnel, which we think it is, the only way to fix it is schematically, and I think I feel comfortable with Nebraska's defensive backs being on an island.
I do too. Nebraska's defensive backs played well.
All right.
Are you guys going back?
Made the play to save it. Emmett Johnson, your game ball tonight. And
Tomorrow night is the plan, I think, like 7 o'clock.
apparently I'm giving looks of death.
We're going back Saturday.
Appreciate that. Keep the stream comments coming, and we'll get as many as we can on as we welcome in the Pride of Fairbury. Bill Dolman with us on the Real Red Reaction show. We are powered by Slim Chickens. Bill, this is John Wayne time. We're powering off of our phone. We have more wires than a MacGyver show, and the sound of hope and pride returned to a road venue. And that is the Nebraska fans exiting Arrowhead Stadium, screaming, "Go Big Red! Go Big Red!" They were elated to escape with a victory. Malcolm Hartzog, I turned and looked at Elijah and said this isn't going to end well, because since he picked on him that final drive twice, and Malcolm said, "I've had enough," and away we go. Bill, thoughts, man? Good to have you.
Give me this. I got a lot to say.
I know you do.
You need a beer too?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. This is internet anyway. You know, they're 1-0. I had plenty of time to think about this as I made my way over here from where I exited to get over to this side of
Not a bad
Stadium.
walk.
Not a bad walk. Thankfully, it's not 100 degrees outside. Look, I think after that, you go there 1-0. There were times when Nebraska looked really, really good, and there were times when I think people were thinking there's going to be. God bless you. I think there were times when people are thinking, here we go again, because you've got the momentum. Yet instead of getting a touchdown, you end up with a field goal. And then in the second half, I was reminded, I know there wasn't an onside kick. The second half, I was reminded of Northwestern, Nebraska, and Dublin. Because I know as much as everybody likes to focus on the onside kick. But in the second half, I've talked about it many, many times, especially with my students. In the second half of that game against Northwestern, the Wildcats rushed the ball 15 times for like 150 yards. And they just destroyed Nebraska running the football. And to a certain extent, Cincinnati was doing the same thing. They were rushing for over 8 yards per carry in the second half, and they were gashing Nebraska's defense. Scoresby could not throw the football. I think he finished like 29 or 35 yards, something like that through the air. But he ran. He ran the ball well. And everybody ran the ball well right through Nebraska's defense. And we had that concern coming into the season as to where is the deficiency for Nebraska. And it's the defensive line. Can they stop the run? And right now, against a good football team, the answer is not right now. And I think that's got to be concerning, because I'm sure Michigan is watching this going, all right, we're going to come to Lincoln and we're going to control the line of scrimmage. And we're going to run the ball at that defensive line and make them stop us. And if we can't get it done in the first half, we have every confidence in the world that we can wear down Nebraska's defensive line in the second half and take over, much like Illinois did last year, like Northwestern did in Dublin. And Cincinnati was gashing Nebraska with the run in the second half. That's the concern coming into the season. I think that's the concern coming out of this football game. Good on Malcolm Hartzog. He's not a cornerback, but he's a really good safety. He's got great instincts for the ball. He's a hard hitter. I know he got burned a couple times late in the game, but he made the play when it had to be made. And he's a heart and soul player for that football team. So that was impressive. Dylan Raiola, I've said all fall camp, all last year, he's got to play like a junior this season. I think he did that. Played with a lot of poise, connected on 75% of his passes. Emmett Johnson's clearly the one, no doubt about that. He had over, I think he was involved in over a third of Nebraska's plays, and had 100 yards rushing. So good on the offensive line to have a 100-yard back. Good for him to be durable in a season opener to get that much work. So all of that said, Nebraska's 1-0, and I was just filibustering while you were putting together all the wires and trying to get somebody to give you another beer.
We still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a Snitley Brothers production here.
It is. Nights. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like Jack from Boogie Nights, the Snitley Brothers production. I mean, it's kind of where I'm going. How you feeling, Snitley? You good?
We have a lot of question marks, but we got a week to get it right. Hopefully those glaring question marks don't shake their head again. I think you put the question marks on tape with Rule, and they get it fixed in the next 3 weeks, right?
Better.
Let's hope we do.
Hey, can I just say this too? 8 o'clock games are way too late for some people. And
I think some people means Billy D.
no, I'm talking about the ones who started hitting it at 8 a.m.
That was not us.
I know. I'm impressed by you guys because you guys are professionals at this.
We are professionals.
But I think there's a lot of people.
We are professionals, Bill.
I know.
And Schmitty can vouch for us. I think we had 1 beer before noon. I think we had 1 beer. The rest of the time we were worried about when to get set up and when we were going to rush to set up the atmosphere here. I think we had a nice setup.
It was awesome.
And
Mr. Spindler loves it.
Mr. Spindler was amazing. I heard back from a lot of things from back home, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, he's a
This
long
week.
lost Peter brother. I
Yeah, that's what you hit that on the head.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation for
But
that.
I got to say, I know you paced yourselves. A lot of people did
We
not.
did.
8 o'clock kickoffs are too late for some people.
They are. This was good. The over-under has been met with 2.5 old fashions tonight.
I haven't had one. Do we need one now?
I don't
Do we
know.
need to
I'm
pour
still
one?
looking at this setup here, and I've
If we
got
can find the ingredients, we
a
shall have
wire
one.
that's.
We're not getting out of here anytime soon. I know.
No, it's still bumper to bumper traffic. Bill Dolman is with us here on Real Red Reaction. We're powered by Slim Chickens. Seth Regan, shout out to you from Lazari's. You and Gregors are the best. We need Lazari's now. I wish we could order it. We are in Arrowhead, stuck here for eons because traffic is a mother, as once was said. So, shout out to you, Seth. Appreciate you, brother. All right, more comments from you in the stream. We are going to go. Andy, this is not my RV. It's my mother's RV. But it's funny. It says, Junior moves out and Chris buys a new RV. That's funny. QB1 Ace with a comment here. Dylan was leaving a lot of receivers out to dry, especially Emmett. There were at least 3 catches that Emmett made that got lit up after catching it. He did land on his back quite a bit. Brotherly love at its finest. Brian Snitley, part of the Boulder Peace Treaty, says, get this idiot off the air. I hope he's not talking about me. Big Red Rules checks in and says, how about the fact that the kid can kick field goals from 50-plus yards? What a breath of fresh air. I saw the footage on ESPN. It was good stuff with what Nebraska was able to do to finish. But it was really, really cool to see Eck do his patented high five and hug of Matt Rule or whoever's head coach for Nebraska. I've got Elijah here. I'm going to ask Elijah a question. We have a dangling part here.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be connected to because
We're still on.
Yeah, that's not mine. I don't think mine's plugged in here. Oh wait, what's your mic plugged into?
I don't know.
How is this working?
It is.
Your mic is working. Can we confirm in the stream? People can hear us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've asked.
I saw that dangling part earlier, and I'm like, well, we're working, so I'm just not gonna deal with it.
Yeah, we're going MacGyver here. Hang tight with me. Where's the end cord? Forgive us here.
Yeah, we have the confirmation that people can still hear us. All right, better or worse, folks?
Better or worse? Tell us what you think. Yeah, Andy says shut up and keep talking. Everybody can hear you. Sound fine. Thank you, Matthew.
We don't know how you can hear us, but you can, so that's positive.
Maybe it's through this.
I'll check the.
And even then,
No, that's the USB coming in. All right, well.
Wow. The force, right?
But that's the magic of a Husker football win, Schmitty. It doesn't matter if we're plugged in; the people can still hear us.
Yep, it's pretty good. So we are driving towards. Well, we're past the midnight hour. On the agenda tomorrow is the KFOR morning show from 6 to 9 a.m. Can check out that with me and Carol and Jeff Moats on KFOR, KFORnow.com. Plenty of Husker reaction tomorrow morning. And then the Average Joe Sports Show is the Average Joe Sports Show live from Oakwood Country Club. And excited for that. Shout out to our fellas at Oakwood.
Yeah, so thank you, Trevor. Really appreciate
Trevor,
that.
we
Looking
love you,
forward to that
bud.
opportunity.
I feel bad. Trevor came by to say hi, and we were in the middle of something important, of course, me blabbing. So, Trevor, thanks for your time coming in. But yes, the KFOR morning show is streamed. KFORnow.com is how you stream it. Carson Schmidt
I like how
chiming in.
your son texts you. What are your thoughts? Like we aren't doing a post-game show right now.
My kid hates me. That's all there is to it. So Junior just texted in as he is trying to get out of the parking lot and said, "What are your thoughts after the game?" You know, not like we do post games for the last 7 years.
Does he even know what you do for a living?
Probably not. No, my dad's lazy. I said no YouTube. No YouTube in the morning. Kobe, no one wants to see me in the morning. Bruce and Spearfish, Schmitty, your mom's RV, my mother's basement. I know. What my call? She said, "This is what we got." I was like, "Hey, good on you."
If you guys were to put a letter grade overall on tonight's performance, what are you giving this performance from the Huskers?
I give Nebraska a B. I think Nebraska had a chance to win by more than 3. I think this is a necessary lesson.
I can't shift too much.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
there we go.
this is a necessary lesson that this team needed to have happen, and that's win a tight ball game. So that is fine with me if I'm a Nebraska fan. You've seen a lot of these in the past where it didn't go the way it needed to go if you're a big Red fan. So I thought they left points on the field. I think
4 for sure.
I think the defense is really nice in the secondary. They came as advertised. There was nothing deep Cincinnati got. I mean, Cincinnati's passing game was non-existent. And we had a little bit of a call out before you sat down. Your black shirt, 6-year man, Elijah Judy, needs to have better games moving forward because Nebraska, it's clear that depth is obvious. There is that drop off that the coaches talked about with the 2s and the 3s because the 1s, i.e. Keona Davis, Winery, and Van Poppel, when they were in, defense settled in and played lockdown defense. Not much going on, a lot of 3 and outs, minimal 3rd down conversions. But Nebraska, to their credit, was fresh. But fresh is one thing, but being able to make a play. Pass rush. Stopping the run, yes. And pass rush, they need to find someone to get off the edge and get home. Nebraska had a chance a few times to get home on 3rd down, and it didn't happen.
It was 1 sack tonight, I believe. 1 sack.
Two TFLs. I'll pull that
2
out.
TFLs, I think, with 1 sack for the Husker defense tonight. Any game where you give up 200 plus yards on the ground, I struggle to be anywhere above a C- with the defense, but you make the winning play. It's the defense that's out there when you win the football game. That gets me up to probably a C. As for the offense, I think they took what the defense was giving them. The rushing attack looked good in the first half. The backup running back situation is concerning, but I think Emmett, whenever he was fresh, looked really, really good. I am probably with the offense at a B, but a strong B, the kind of B that Professor Doman would round up to a B plus at the end of the semester.
Yeah. If you're engaged and participate, you get extra points. Look, Nebraska's seriously upgraded in the wide receiver position and in the passing game. Lindenmeyer is a much better receiving and yards after catch tight end than I ever thought. And look, Fedoni made the Giants, but Lindenmeyer made plays and look, Fedoni with those 2 knee injuries, going back in time, severely limited him. But Lindenmeyer played the kind of tight end played the tight end the way I think Nebraska wanted Thomas Bedoni to play during his time here. And I do think, but in fairness, the injuries limited him. But Lindenmeyer's a threat. Dane Key is really, really good. Hunter's really, really good. Mills and Clark and so many guys. They threw to 9 different receivers, and some made some really tough catches. And so Nebraska's passing game on the outside is not entirely reliant on Dylan Raiola's precision, because he has people on the other side on the receiving end that can make plays. So, and you've got, Shorts over there coaching those guys, and you don't have, a guy that they mistake for a student manager being the position coach. So Nebraska's upgraded in the passing game. As Raiola, like I mentioned earlier, I thought played, like a veteran quarterback should. I continue to go back to the
What do you think of the
defensive
fourth?
line.
What do you think of the fourth down call? Fourth down, Cincinnati gets the stop. They turn around and turn it into 7. They cut it to a 3-point game.
As in, should they have punted?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes you get cavalier, right? Because I think Archie Wilson is as good as advertised. He had 3 punts inside the 20. The last one went inside the 10. But again, Nebraska's defense could stop him. So let the guy do what he's here to do. He placed the ball well. Let him boom the ball if he's got to do it. But maybe he didn't. Maybe that's getting cavalier with your offense, or maybe that's showing lack of confidence in your defense. I don't know. But there are questions about whether or not that defense is going to be able to stop a good quality power running game. And I think there are Big Ten scouts watching that game tonight going, we're just going to run the ball at Nebraska and make them stop us. And if they, again, like I said earlier, if they don't do it, if they stop us in the first half, we're going to just keep doing it in the second half. And we're going to break it open, because that's what Northwestern did a few years ago. That's what Illinois did last year. That's what Cincinnati did tonight. They gashed Nebraska 8 yards per carry in the second half, and many of them by the quarterback. What are you going to do with a team that's got a great running back?
Well,
that's of concern.
They did. I'll give Cincinnati credit. They settled in, didn't they? And they turned to the quarterback run. The Brandon Vogel stat of all stats, whenever Sorsby rushes for over 40 yards, they lose. Well, he rushed for over 40 yards, and they lost again.
He's at 97 tonight.
I know. He went for 143 against Iowa State last year. That was kind of his breakout. 93 against TCU. So it's just, it looks good. It's fool's gold for this offense. Because it really gets them out of rhythm when it comes to scoring. They moved the ball, yes, they got some points, but push comes to shove, their passing game suffered because of it, and a lot of that credit goes to the Nebraska secondary. Think about that. Nebraska didn't have a lot of hurries. They didn't have a lot of pushback. And Nebraska still, their secondary on islands a lot tonight, and they made the plays. I know I've reiterated that point. So we talked about the fourth down call that didn't go Nebraska's way. How about Dana setting up for Dane Key with that second touchdown on the pop pass? Perfectly timed play call for Dana Holgerson, and a good connection for Dylan to find Key. I thought that was a great play call. It was a similar look to what they had just ran, trying to play some power football. What do you think of Dylan tonight?
I thought he was on the money with his throws. I don't think he wasted too many. And I know he threw one away. That's not what I mean by wasting a throw. I thought he played a smart game. I don't think he was the dominant player out there, but he just operated the offense. He managed it well, and he did it, I thought, with leadership and poise. He's a team captain. So I thought he led the team well. I thought he led the offense well. I thought he played confidently, and I thought Nebraska played confidently in him. Remember, a year ago, there were times when Nebraska had to play well for that true freshman, right?
Pop that door closed.
What door?
The middle. Thank you.
Our cool backdrop is about to go away.
The RV is leaving us.
We're going to be exiled, but I thought he played well. Another thing on the way down, what did I not want to see, whatever? Pre-snap penalties. last couple shows, pre-snap penalties.
We missed the Elijah alert, didn't we?
When the play call to Lindenmeyer had a nice little twist there, that he got it down to the 1 yard line, right? That was a nifty little play, the pass play from to Lindenmeyer in the flat, and he almost pulled his way into the end zone, sets Nebraska up at the 1 yard line, and now we got flashbacks to the Minnesota game a few years back when Nebraska's got a first and goal inside the 5 and can't score a touchdown. A pre-snap penalty, you don't want to see 1st and 15. That changes the game. And you sure as hell don't want to go from 1st and goal or have the ball at the 1 yard line, and then you've got a pre-snap penalty that backs you up to the 5 yard line. And that changes everything. Nebraska's not a real efficient team, exciting team in the red zone. Once that field shortens up, they struggle. But that pre-snap penalty that Pritchett had changed the game.
It was from the one.
From the one, right.
I do also think, though, aside from that penalty, there was that one sack he gave up on the final drive. I did think he looked like your best left tackle. And that's the conflicting thing here, because he made 2 back-breaking plays with the false start and then with that sack on the final possession. 2 crushing plays for you.
But then his run blocking, he was murdering.
He was an absolute mauler as a run blocker. Absolute mauler. From a physical standpoint and from your if you were to average out every single play that he had throughout the game, I think he was your best left tackle. But you can't have 2 crushing plays like that and expect to be the left tackle. I'm very conflicted on how to feel about Elijah Pritchett coming out of this game.
I feel exposed now. So I was thinking about this on the way down after you guys took the show back.
We look like we have like one of those fake Zoom backgrounds on us now.
Yeah, right. I'm thinking, do you want a dominant run blocker? Do you want an 8 out of a 10, B plus A minus tackle? And is it okay if he costs you points with penalties like that?
A guy that talented, that gifted. It's the mental part, and you've heard Matt Rule talk about it, haven't you? When it comes to doing the things that you're not supposed to do as a God-gifted NFL monster at tackle, and he's played enough football to not do that.
Hey, we're in Kansas City, and the name's escaping me. Is it Taylor? The guy that most penalized offensive line.
Oh, that would always get out of his stance early and line up 3 yards off the ball.
Yeah. Is it? I can't think of.
Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah. I mean, still has a home in Kansas City. At least I think he's back again. But every Chiefs game, as great as the Chiefs are, that guy's good for 15 to 20 yards in penalties a game. A game, because of false starts or getting beat, lining up wrong, whatever. And announcers, there he goes again. He's one of the most famous offensive linemen in football for the exact wrong reason. You don't want Elijah Pritchett to be known at Nebraska football. If Nebraska had lost the game and Cincinnati had all the momentum, they're moving the ball, running, and they'd make that play and make us relive so many Nebraska games that we've watched over the last decade of one possession losses, whatever, 1 score losses. You go back to that play. It cost them 4 points. It cost them 4 points. And if Hartzog doesn't make that catch and it ends up being a touchdown, it costs them 4 points.
One thing with that Cincinnati play call, late. I was going to go back to the offensive line, but Cincinnati was probably 5 to 10 yards away from field goal range, and
they were in field goal range.
Well, they were in it because they got the holding penalty on Hartzog.
Well, the guy's career long is 54 yards. They were in field goal range.
Yeah, if you're a Cincinnati fan, you got to be asking questions about the shot play to the end zone. But going back to the offensive line, I'm remembering off the top of my head here, were they penalized for a holding call today?
No, neither team.
Saying something, maybe the refs just were letting them play in the trenches, but I can't think of one off the top of my head where I go, that looked like holding. There's one maybe on that Ja'Cory Barney fly sweep on that final drive that I thought on the edge maybe could have been.
There was a third down conversion too, where I thought Sorsby got the corner and you saw jerseys grabbed and flying, So it was kind of ticky.
Hartzog had the only holding penalty.
Yeah, I want to say this.
And that was the tackiest holding penalty in the secondary I've ever
and
seen.
it is another shout out to the Spindler family with Mark and his lovely wife Rochelle coming by and doing some pregame with us. It sounds like he may be finding his way to the single barrel from time to time. But he negotiated six beers per show, which is cool. But no, I thought Rocco had a hell of a game. I thought he did well.
And he
at
came
guard.
out of the tunnel first, just like
That's
Mark
what-
said he
that's what
would.
he said.
He said, "You're going to see 50 coming out of the tunnel." I thought he's wearing Dave Remington's number. Wow, that's a huge honor. And I looked, and sure enough, there he was. He was front and center leading that team out there. So he's a great guy for that team to have, no question.
Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, but game balls before we say goodnight and get ready to do it again tomorrow morning on KFORnow.com. Big thanks to our friends at Slim Chickens powering Real Red Reaction. We're going to go till 1 o'clock, and we'll be back at it tomorrow with the Average Joe Sports Show, 4 to 6, live from Oakwood Country Club.
How many game balls do we have to give out here? Is it one each?
I think we can give out one. We're going with 3, the triple nipple.
We each. Okay, we each get 3 game balls. Okay.
Yeah. So, Bill, you tell us who gets your game ball.
I only give one out.
Yes.
My game ball. Okay, it's too obvious to give one to Malcolm Hartzog because he made the play. So that's an obvious. I'm going with the Keel Shorts because that Nebraska receiving core is really, really good. And yes, you brought in some talent in Hunter and Key, but Mills had a catch, Clark had a catch, 9 different receivers caught passes, Lyndon Meyer, yards after catch. I think Dylan Raiola has the weapons that give him a lot of comfort and confidence that he can play the game that is expected of him. So I'm going to give a game ball to the Keel Shorts.
Elijah?
Archie Wilson.
Okay.
And that might be low-hanging fruit, but he was as advertised as a punter, and he set up Cincinnati's offense. We've seen in years past, whenever you're near midfield, those balls go sailing into the end zone. No touchbacks on his punts tonight. He was rock solid as a punter, set up Cincinnati with some long fields, helped you win that football game. I know I've seen people in the chat here saying Kevin Gallick, the long snapper. He gets a good shout too, but Archie Wilson was as advertised, and if both of those punts that landed inside the 10 go out for a touchback, you could make an argument Nebraska doesn't win this football game.
So my game ball goes to Vincent Shavers.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's obvious, but he made the momentum turning play of the game. Nebraska able to extend their lead and really put Cincinnati back on their heels. They had to play from behind the rest of the game because of that. I know Nebraska was already leading, but being down 3 versus being down 2 scores is a big difference, especially for a team right now in Nebraska that was trying to find a way to kick off a season and build confidence. His play, his forced fumble, Waneri making the recovery was important, and Nebraska made the best of it. We will say goodnight, say thank you much to all of you.
Can I quickly just say, some guys that barely missed the cut for game balls, I want to give them a shout out as well. Isaiah Hunter, great game tonight.
Thank you.
Sierra Wright was almost completely silent, which is a great thing if you're in the defensive backfield. Dane Key, Hartzog, which we all know why. I mean,
I thought Waneri played a hell of a ball game, and Keona Davis is phenomenal.
Yeah. But I like our 3
So we're
selections.
handing out a lot of pigskin. That's what it turns out. We'll be at you tomorrow morning, KFORnow.com. Stream it that way, or hear us 12:40 a.m. and 101.5 is where you can find us on KFOR in Lincoln and stream. So do that. And we'll be back with the Average Joes tomorrow. And then the weekend edition. More Nebraska football thoughts as we get you into a holiday weekend. Elijah, appreciate you, brother. This was good stuff. Bill, love you much. Appreciate it, dude.
Yep.
And we're going to go find the RV. And we'll talk to you next time with the Real Red Reaction Show powered by Slim's
But
Chickens.
your mom's leaving.
I know, she hates me. It's okay. Be sure to get to 14th and Pine Lake, 84th and Old Cheney. Wings, wraps, incredible chicken. It is fresh vegetables with the salad choices they have. And the dessert if you want to feel a little guilty, but it's okay. We'll talk to you next time here with KFOR and Real Red Reaction. Take care.
Wasn't pretty, but it's a step forward.